What's up everyone, Mitesh here with MTech, and it may come as a surprise to you guys, but I don't own a single smart light bulb at all. I have smart plugs, smart switches, and even a smart door lock, but I don't own any smart light bulbs whatsoever because, the problem with smart light bulbs is one, you either need to have a hub like is the case with Philips Hue system, or you need to buy really expensive light bulbs like is the case with Life. But today I've got a smart bulb for you guys that costs half of what LifeX does, but it doesn't require a hub. So today we're going to be talking about the Eufy Lumo Smart Bulb 2.0. And for those of you who don't know who Eufy is, it's actually a sub-brand of Anker, which is a very reputable company. And just to let you guys know, Anker did send this out to me free for review, but as always, I'll be telling you guys my real experience with it. Now I'm going to break this review down into 3 parts. First is going to be how easy it is to set up the smart light bulb, because let's face it, nobody wants smart home tech that's a pain to set up. So that's going to be the first thing. Number 2, we're going to talk about the features that the smart light bulb has or it's lacking. And then finally, number 3, we're going to talk about whether it's worth getting or not. So starting off with the setup process, honestly, the setup process on this could not be easier. All you have to do is download the Eufy Home app, and that's available for both Android and iOS, and it'll walk you through the setup process. Now, the only hiccup I had with this setup process was the fact that the smart bulb only supports 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network, so that when I tried to set it up with my smartphone, which was on the 5 gigahertz network, they couldn't find each other during the setup process. Once I put my phone on the 2.4 gigahertz network, it was no problem whatsoever. They found each other really quick, and yeah, setup was super simple after that. After that, I switched my phone back to 5 gigahertz and I could still continue using the app with no problem whatsoever. So setting it up, super simple, really not going to be an issue for you. Now next up, let's talk about some of those features. So this smart bulb really does not come with a ton of features. In fact, this is their most budget-friendly smart bulb, so it has basically no features whatsoever. So you can either turn it on and off via the app, or it's also dimmable. That's kind of nice to have. Additionally, you can also control it via Amazon Alexa or Google Smart Home. You can just go ahead and set it up and then control it with one of those voice assistants. That's really nice to have, but some other things that it's missing. So for example, this is definitely not an RGB bulb. In fact, it's not even a tunable white. So they do have both of those options in the Eufy lineup, but this one is not any of those things. This is their basic, they're the most basic smart bulb you can get. The color temperature on this is 2700 Kelvin, so it is a very, very warm white, and it's great at night if you're trying to read, and it looks fantastic at night. It's very warm and cozy color, but during the day, it's a little bit too warm for me. I would much prefer a much brighter white, so yeah, it's not going to be best for all setups, but if you guys are just looking to use it in like a lamp or something, it works pretty well. Now, one of the features it's lacking is any kind of support for HomeKit or if this and that. So if you're someone who's in the Apple ecosystem, this is probably not going to be for you. If you're used to using Siri and HomeKit to control your devices, this really isn't going to work for you at all. And if this and that, it's lacking support for this and that. So if you run your entire house on if this and that routines, this really isn't going to work out for you either. But if you aren't really super deep into either of those systems, you can use this with no problem. And finally, let's talk about whether the smart bulb is worth getting or not. And the fact is, if you're looking for the most basic kind of smart bulb you can get, just to, take 1 or 2 lights and light them up, this thing will work for you, no doubt. And Anker is one of those companies that makes good quality stuff. Like, you can find cheaper smart bulbs on Amazon, but my recommendation is pay for a little bit extra, get a little bit more security of mind, the fact that, first of all, that this thing will work, because Anker is not going to go out of business anytime soon. And, it's just something that if anything goes wrong with it, you can always go back to Anker. They have good service. So yeah, that to me is worth paying a little bit extra to get something that I know I can rely on. Yes, those other cheaper smart bulbs will work, but if they break down, you have nobody to contact whatsoever. Now, the one type of person I don't think should buy the smart bulb is someone who is just completely all in and wants to deck out their entire house in smart light bulbs. For them, I think something like a Philips Hue system where you have a hub is actually a better way to go, because the light bulbs themselves are actually a little bit cheaper. Yes, you have to pay for the hub, but if you get up to like buying 50 smart light bulbs, you're going to be paying a lot less buying just each individual bulb, and then the cost of the hub will just get amortized throughout all those light bulb purchases. So yeah, if you're someone who is convinced and you're totally in, that might be a little bit better for you, but I think for most other people, this is actually a pretty good way to go. So I have links down in the description if you guys are interested in purchasing this, and I also have links to the tunable white version and the RGB version if you guys want those instead. But yeah, with that, that's pretty much all I have for you guys in this one. Like this one if you liked it, subscribe if you guys loved it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!